Hey, what is up guys, and welcome to my channel and for another new build for Stranger of Paradise. So I was trying out some of the advanced jobs in the game and seeing whether they are viable or not in the end game and on the Bahamut difficulty. Jobs like the Sage make the Black Mage and the White Mage feel totally useless as to why you would even be bothered using them when the Sage is literally both those jobs put into one. Still, I really wanted to try out the new classes, especially on the Black Mage. The Warlock class changes your flare ability, which is the big blast, and replaces it with the flare star, which then becomes a giant beam. The beam is not really all that powerful in terms of the raw damage it can deal, but what it's good at is the break damage it does. The beam can hit multiple times, and when you're locked onto the enemies, it can even retarget and move as you switch enemies, or even chase moving enemies as well. So you're not even locked in place when you fire the beam. If you fire the beam without locking onto the target, then yes, you cannot move the beam freely. It can clear out entire missions with such ease that most of the times enemies don't even get a chance to do anything. Best thing about this whole build is the fact that it's my first mage build that doesn't even require to use Chaosbringer. It's a lot of fun, so let's get straight into the build. Firstly, let's go over the two jobs that we'll be using. We use the Warlock class on the Black Mage as our main and the Shadow Master class from the Ninja job as our secondary. Once again, the Ninja job is basically going to be used to get your MP completely maxed out at the beginning of every fight, and also using his tools to tank 3 attacks from the enemies. The affinities you will need on the Ninja job is 400% Void Knight to greatly reduce the cost of your command abilities. The other two important affinities that you will need is 250% Samurai and 120% Summoner. The Samurai will give you bonus damage on chain cancel, and the Summoner affinity is what we use to gain our max MP at the start of every fight. That's all you will need on the Ninja job. Basically, the reason you use the Ninja is for his tool. Without it, you will get killed really easily if the enemies do get a hit on you. For your main Black Mage, there are probably only 2 affinities that are really important, and another additional 2 affinities that can be really useful to have. Those are the Tyrant, Black Mage, Void Knight, and the Assassin. We get 400% on the Tyrant, so we can use the Absolute Dominion skill. This will make all your attacks be critical hits if the enemy is inflicted with a status element. This is mostly going to be used when you fight bosses or some of the bigger enemies that you may encounter in some of the missions. Any other enemies will not require you to inflict a status effect, just the beam itself is enough to kill everything. The Black Mage has a full range of elements you can inflict, so use whatever you want. You need 400% on your Black Mage. This will give you a lot of bonus intellect across all your abilities. Then with the final skill Riot Magic, we can increase our max MP based on the magic damage that we deal. Since using the flare star will reduce our max MP every time, this skill will make sure we recover that lost MP back. Those are probably the only 2 important ones that you will need. Other ones that you can go for are at least 250% on your Void Knight, so you can increase the potency of your MP recovery effects. Getting Assassin to 250% will also be great as it will give you a lot of bonus agility. If you are unaware, agility as well will increase the break damage that you deal on critical hits. Any other affinity that you can get with bonus intellect or agility or even added break damage like the Mage or the Paladin will be helpful for this build. The effects you will need across all your gear pieces is intellect, agility, and non-elemental break damage dealt. A flare star is non-elemental, so we can use this effect fully. You could go for critical break damage dealt, but then it means that this build will be very good at bossing, but you'll be weak at the other enemies. Adding in the non-elemental break damage dealt makes it for an overall better build that can do any content in the game. I don't have the best accessory for this build, but anything that can give you added break damage or intellect or agility is good to have. As for the command abilities, Lunatic will allow you to charge your attacks faster, so it's always good to have it on. Summon Tachi for just overall increased damage. Then you can choose either if you want faster charge on your magic, then go for Reinforce. If you're doing missions where there are lots of smaller enemies, then add in Seal of Blood, so you can easily soul burst every enemy that you break with your beam. Add in Invisible if you're having trouble, probably best to use if you're having trouble with bosses like the Warrior Light, who will not leave you alone for even just a second while you charge up your attacks. So choose whatever you feel is fit. Here's a look at the Masterpoints I've set on the Black Mage. That is mostly all you will need to get this build to work. When you are fighting the smaller enemies, it is best to use your Seal of Blood ability. This will make sure that every enemy that you kill will also get soul bursted and have your MP restored very easily. When you are bossing, you can gain your MP back very easily since we have our Masterpoints set in the critical MP recovery. As we land crits, you will gain MP back nice and easily. If you're still having trouble with the build and finding it difficult to maintain your MP, either use a Chaos Bringer, or another better way is to have you evoke a job affinity at 400%. This will give you the Clear Mind skill, which will regenerate your MP while your health is full. The Magic Regen command ability could also be another good choice if you prefer it that way. When you are bossing, make sure to use a different element in each of their phases. The element that you use in the first phase will not inflict as easily in the second phase, so make sure to switch up the elements that you inflict between each phase. Hope you guys enjoyed the build. The Black Mage is still insanely powerful and it makes every mission feel super easy. Is there any job in particular that you like to see a build on next? Let me know. I would love to hear from you all. I will catch you all next time.